on our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Trudging Tuesday. Trudging, it stands for to walk with purpose. Walk with purpose. Doesn't even necessarily have to be tough, right? Not necessarily, or to walk arduously. Let's go look it up. Let's see what we get here. Nah. We'll look. I can look it up on my computer. I just need my phone for other stuff. Oh, hope everybody's having a good week so far. Trudge, walk slowly with heavy steps, typically because of exhaustion or harsh conditions, a difficult or laborious walk. Laborious. I thought ahead today. I brought my fan in before I started. So we'll see if I have any reasons to get up and leave the microphone today. Mirror. Yep. I have these feeding bowls. They're not automatic feeders or anything. They're just free feeders for the cats. Yeah, there's 4 of them down here, and one of them's empty, so they think they're out of food. Yeah, they're so. I've been surrounded all morning. A lot of cat hair first thing in the morning. Nothing like a little bit of cat hair with your coffee. Speaking of coffee, nature's delightful mixture of stuff to keep me awake. Yeah. I used to work for this company called Boyer's Coffee. This would have been, I was what? Well, I was 21, 22, maybe. A little bit, somewhere around there. I worked for Boyer's Coffee. And this is when flavored coffee just came out. Okay? And what we used to do is we'd roast the beans first. And then I'd have to take the beans and, well, you put some beans into a cement mixer. That's what we used to use. And then I had this syrup, and I'd have to pour a certain amount of syrup in, and I forgot what we used. It was like this paddle, right? And scrape the sides and mix it all in there, add more, do more, continue, keep mixing, right? We'd make flavored coffee, hazelnut. There are only like 4 or 5 flavors at the moment: hazelnut, French vanilla. They all fucking stunk to high heaven. And today it's exactly why I will not drink flavored coffee, because it would get into my pores. Even if you wore gloves, it didn't matter. Somehow, I always smelled like cotton candy. Always. People are like, you smell good. I'm like, I'm so tired of this fucking smell. Oh, then I hear people whining today because they didn't get a tip for delivery. You know, I've dug ditches in Highlands Ranch in the middle of fucking summer in wedding clothes before, because I went to a wedding. I went to my mom's wedding the day before, but I was kind of homeless. I didn't really have anywhere to stay. So I ended up going to work. I ended up going to day labor in some pretty fancy clothes. I remember hanging out with a bunch of Hispanic guys that day. None of them spoke English, but we smoked a lot of weed that day. We smoked a lot of weed that day. Am I live? Because nobody's even here. Is this thing not working today? I doubt anybody in the world's like, nobody's here. Everybody else, they probably ignore that subject. Not me. I'll be like, there ain't no one here. I'm all alone. You'll never know what I'll do. You can't leave me. You can't leave me to my own devices. What's wrong with you people? Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name's Dion. You're still gonna get the same thing here. I'm kind of an emotional vampire. I tend to feed off of other people, and when there's no one here, it is a little different. That's all right. So he'll show up eventually. If you're here, please say hello. Trust me, it's a fluke. That's what it is, a fluke. Welcome to Daily Trudge. Dion, if you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. And see, now somebody's here. Somebody's here. And I'll bet it's Amber. I'll put money on it. So it's 11:11. That's how I know. It's 11:11, and Amber showed up just like a wizard should. Now watch, it's not going to be her. The spiritual kit of tools laid at our feet. We do have a reading for this today. It's out of a date and time. Daily Reflection is still talking about the 8th step. We're at the 19th. We had like 11 more days of that. A whole month of one paragraph. Actually, I'm thinking of 6 and 7. My bad. I think step 8's more like 3 paragraphs. I mean, come on. All right. So we're going to do the reading. I also asked AI. Actually, before we do the reading, let's cover the AI one first. What I did is I asked it is, what is the simple kit of spiritual tools that's laid at our feet in AA? And, it's done a pretty good job so far. So we're going to give AI a chance again today. Is chat not working again? Because now there's people here, but I don't see any chat. I'm going to go over here and double check just in case. No, nobody has said anything yet. So we are good. Not required to. Especially if you're driving. Don't be sending messages if you're driving. All right. In AA, a simple kit of spiritual tools refers to the various practices and resources used to maintain sobriety and spiritual growth. As outlined in the Big Book and other AA literature, these tools are not physical objects, but rather actions and attitudes that help individuals stay connected to their higher power and work the 12 steps effectively. Yup. That's correct. All right. That joke's not funny anymore, especially when you use it all the time. So what are some of the key components to the spiritual toolkit? First one is 12 steps. The 12 steps is the first one listed. There's probably a couple in here. Yeah. Key of willingness is also in there. The key of willingness doesn't actually exist. Maybe we ought to start. You know what? That's not a bad idea. Maybe I shouldn't say it here. Maybe we should start buying these. Maybe what we do is sell these little keys and make necklaces out of them. And it's the key of willing, and we just write willingness on it. Yeah, sell those. See, somebody's going to take that idea. Now you watch, I'm going to turn around. Somebody's going to already done it. So the core of the AA program provides a path to recover through self-examination, admitting powerlessness, making amends, and seeking spiritual growth. The Big Book, the next thing that's in there it is. And that's a physical representation this time. Okay. But the actual tools equals action. Whatever the tool is, it's going to lead to some kind of action. Whether it's the key of willingness, whether it's the key of acceptance, whether it's you're trying to find the answer, so you go to your Big Book. These different things. Daily Reflections is another. We're doing it right now. Right now, we are utilizing one of the tools in our spiritual kit just by doing the Daily Reflection. Do you pray? There's another one. It's probably in here somewhere. Yep, there it is. Okay. So the big book, Alcoholics Anonymous, the foundational text, offers guidance, personal stories, and explanation of AA's philosophy. Daily Reflections is a source of daily inspiration and reminders of spiritual principles. I would, when it comes to reflections, I would get a variety. I do appreciate the AA daily reflection, but they don't mix it up that much. They're kind of lackadaisical on that, just using each step. Now I understand it, but not everybody is in step 1 in January. But we got to mix it up some. It should cover all 12 steps and traditions every single month. Yeah. Of course, that is opinion. What do I know? There we go. I put out another daily reflections book. I'm just kidding. Gratitude list. A practice of your gratitudes. Being grateful for what you have. Waking up in the morning instead of coming to. Going to bed at night instead of passing out. The shakes. The sweating. The anxiety. It's gone. We be grateful for these things. Now remember, gratitude is not a one and done. You're good for the day, right? Gratitude also needs to lead to action. All these things need to lead to action. And the next action should probably be helping another person if you're caught in something. Now, if you use these and you use them, don't use these when you're in a pinch. Use them before. Do these things before things get bad. All right. See my new Beatles shirt? Well, Abbey Road. Abbey Road. Another gift from the grandchildren while spending their grandmother's money. All right. So I like gifts from grandkids. This is what I got for Father's Day. It says happy birthday, and I keep it right here. Right here, right here. Remind me why I do what I do. All right. So what is this? What is this teddy bear that I got for Father's Day that says happy birthday on it? It's another tool in my spiritual toolkit. Anything that reminds you why you're doing what you're doing is a tool. Right? No. So, gratitude list, a practice of acknowledging the positive aspects of life, helping to shift focus away from negative thoughts and feelings. I should probably do that this morning. Woke up kind of sideways. Woke up a little grumpy. Little, that's all right. Hi, Amber. She says, headphones were at my desk. Sorries. And good morning to you too. And so a gratitude list and shift away, like I was saying, I woke up kind of cranky. Justifications in my head this morning. Oh, we should do this, do that. Now, I think I just need to get back to work on some things. Been doing a little. I think I've been stirring the pot a little too much over the last 3-4 days. I think I need to back off from it. Focus on what I need to get done. Yeah. Then when we got therapy today, that's always good. Which is good because I really need to talk to her about something because I have to confront somebody on something that. Oh no, I'm a little. Something happened in our group, and since I'm. God, how do I do this? This is the best way to do it without blowing in because that's not I can't get too far into it. I can't 10 step it here, that's for sure. But there's somebody that needs to be, this is the best way to put it. There's somebody that needs to be confronted, and it feels like it's landing on me. Everybody seems to be okay with it. And I'm a little upset by that. So I need to talk to my, Now, don't get me wrong. It isn't the people in the group that put it on me. I kind of feel like God's doing that, and I feel it's a little unfair. people in the group have been fantastic. So I need to make sure that you understand that too. Prayer and meditation practices for connecting with a higher power, seeking guidance. I prayed this morning as soon as I got up. I prayed right before I did this. I'm praying right now that I don't say something stupid. I will. Don't you fret. You hang out long enough. I'm going to say something stupid. Whether it'll be funny or not, we will find out. We're not there yet. Right? Nightly inventory. I skipped over nightly inventories, but prayer and meditation, we connect. Prayer and meditation is the best tools in your toolkit for searching for serenity, direction, kindness, all of these things. It's great for it. It really is. It centers me. I can give things over to my higher power that so they don't disturb me during the day, and I can be of maximum, because really my only job is to be maximum service to God and the world around me. It's my only job. Some of you folks have other jobs, right? Like, because I don't work in the sense that I go out and work and earn money. I do everything I do is pretty much service work. Almost everything I do is service work. So I get to do this all the time. I am constantly, there is not, if I am doing something, I guarantee I'm using one of these tools. I guarantee it. And in that case, it doesn't matter what it is, because I've got to practice these principles in all my affairs, not just in the group. I can't be all Mr. Hoity-toity, Mr. Nicey nice in the group, having a great time because I belong there, and then leave and go be mean to the neighbor, man. No. Right? So, we get to a point where we practice these principles in all of our affairs, and there's a principle behind every step. If you're not familiar with the principles, you can Google them, because they finally got them right. They have them right now. So nightly inventory, take it. I do not do a nightly inventory. I do things a little differently. I take care of things as they come along. Now, that doesn't mean that I do not take time at night to review my day. I just don't sit and do it intentionally. I decompress. I need it. I need to decompress. Yesterday, I was peopled out. And I tell you something, if I am peopled out and I am yakking with you, I really love you. Huh, Amber? Yeah. Because she invited me to a meeting. She's like, oh, I really like this meeting. Check it out. And usually I would have gone, but and nobody did anything wrong. It's my empathy. And it got kind of full on Friday. It kind of filled up, and I haven't released it all. I got rid of a lot of it last night. But when I decompress, what I'm doing is I'm getting rid of all the bad energy. And that means that the only thing left are answers, is the truth. Good morning, Clara. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Great meeting yesterday, by the way. Yeah. Grassroots today, it's odd. I can't say enough about our fucking meetings. I really can't. Especially yesterday. And we hit it, we hit 24 people. And I know that doesn't sound huge, but it is huge. It's more than 24 people. When you have a group, right? Because we were just kind of talking about when we practice these principles in all of our affairs in a group, and then we leave and we're in a better mood and we treat the people around us better. We affected more than 24 people yesterday. It was more like 100 to 150. Because then they go out and they're nice to people, and then it moves on and it gets paid forward. And a lot of people say, oh man, this meeting is really good. And they tend to come back. I feel like I belong here. God, I love hearing that. I love hearing that because I know what it means to not belong. I've been in their position. And if it means that we made it safe enough for them to feel like they belong there, great fucking job. Yes. That is how it's supposed to work. It was a relief. It was a goal. It was a marker that the group is the group now. That there is no individuality pushing it in any kind of way, including mine. Yes. I know I'm weird. I'm the kind of person that will create things and relinquish control. I don't need the control. Because see, when I set it up according to other people's passions. So I'm doing it for others. It's just kind of a different way of doing service work. All right. Sponsorship. Guidance and support from a more experienced member of AA or even a person that's just in the program. There's been people that, are less experienced than me that have said things that I've needed to hear. So I'm not even going to go for the more experienced. What about sponsoring yourself? What about having sponsees? Right? So got to take it one step further. And I'm going to change this a little bit more to closed mouth friends. Even last night in the grassroots WhatsApp group, somebody needed some help and they got it. And they've been around for a minute. They're going through a hard thing right now. And they had a desire to drink yesterday. And I loved what they did. They said, I'm gonna make a commitment that I'm not going to drink between now and then. And if I do, I will reach out to somebody if I feel like I'm gonna do it. And then they did. And guess what? There were people there. There's somebody always awake in that grassroots meeting. Right? If it's after 7, 8 o'clock at night, it ain't me. I can tell you that. Meetings. Right? Meetings, opportunity to share experience, strength, and hope with others in recovery. I think we all know the importance of meetings. I'm not going to pound that one into your head. You know. Hey, you've been to some meetings. I know you have. You don't listen to me and not to have been to some meetings, man. Find your group. If you're new to this, check out different groups. In grassroots, we do that too. We're like, we encourage you to check out other groups too. Okay. Because there's some people that are in that group that have only ever been to grassroots. And I've told them, I'm like, you're spoiled. You're spoiled. I want to go check out some other groups. But why don't you check them out? Yes, I do. Because people might talk differently in that group. They might say it a different way for something to connect where it didn't happen in grassroots. That's what's great about grassroots. If we think you're going to find the answer somewhere else, we're going to help you get there. Do we want you to stay with us? Sure we do, in a selfish way, but more what we want more than anything else is for you to have the best chance that you can at making it to long-term sobriety. That's what we want. All right. Service work, helping others in recovery journey can foster a sense of purpose and connection. This is the action that you should take after using one of your tools, service work. Double down on God. Slogans, short, memorable phrases that offer guidance and reminders. Principles like easy does it, keep it simple. Right? And then it just says sometimes we call this a God box. So, all right, let's do today's is for you to stay sober. Is for you to stay sober? I'm not sure what you're asking. I'm going to say yes to that, even though I'm not sure what you're, because I'm not sure which part you're referring to. See, I told you I'd make a mistake. I probably said something backwards or something. It happens. August 19th. How does the program work? Newcomers sometimes ask. The two answers I most often hear are very well and slowly. It's been a long time since I've heard that. Very well and slowly. But at the same time, the AA program, even though it works slowly, quite often, not always, Not always. Right. But it does in the grand scheme of things, there's nothing slow about it. But it's gonna feel that way. It is going to feel that way. Those 12 steps are gonna look like a like an impossible list that you made for Santa Claus. I almost said Grandpa, Santa Claus. All right. That's what it looks like. It looks very overwhelming. It's not. Is it tough? Is it hard to do? Yeah, it is hard to do. And it also works very, 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 very well. I gotta tell you, I've met thousands of alcoholics, and every person that has thoroughly followed the path and continues to thoroughly follow the path stays sober. It's true. Those that seem to deviate from the path do not seem to stay sober. Sometimes they'll go for a little while with what they're utilizing. It can, right? Not all programs are AA. No, there are other. I'm not going to say there are other paths, but there are other groups. The path is still the same. The path doesn't change just because you went to Celebrate Recovery. The path doesn't change because you went to Wellbriety. The path doesn't change because you went to Smart Recovery. It's still the same process of cognitive behavioral therapy. The only factor between all of these is God. It's the only factor between all of them. Wellbriety uses spirituality. Smart Recovery is for people that don't particularly like Jesus. Celebrate Recovery is for people that love Jesus. And AA is for people that go, who's Jesus? Just a little joke I made up. But it's still true. It's still true. Even in Smart Recovery, you're still going to follow the same path of self-discovery, of making amends, and helping other people. That's the process. Okay? And it's taken thousands and thousands of years to figure out that process. And there is no newfangled way. Yeah. If I was cured of alcoholism, I'd be drunk. See? It just ain't gonna work. Amber says the book Breathing Underwater is getting decent. I have no idea what you're saying. So the book, I think I'm misunderstanding a little bit. All right, rewrite that and let me know where I'm wrong on that, please. I'm appreciative of both answers being very well and slowly, right? Factitious as they may be facetious as they may first sound, because my self-analyzing tends to be faulty. Sometimes I have failed to share my defects with the right people. Other times I confess their defects rather than my own, and still other times my sharing of defects has been more in the nature of shrill complaints about problems. Wow. This person kind of has a problem here. Hi, Michelle. All right. So something about their defects. This just sounds like a lot of judging to me. All right. Amber says it was hard to follow the intro to that book. Chapter 1 was okay. Chapter 2 I really liked. Chapter 1 was on step. Chapter 2 was step 2. Oh, got it. Okay. I hear what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Thank you. So sometimes I fail to share my defects with the right people. I don't understand that. Okay. I'm to work on my defects, not other people's. And most of you know what I'm going to say to this. You spot it, you got it. Okay. That eventually will become lessened. It'll get to a point where you'll be like, okay, am I feeling triggered right now because that person over there is doing this? Now, do I do it myself? Okay, in the beginning, the answer was an resounding yes. Now I had my character defect. This is how I figured out most of my character defects, actually. Because we have our regular character defects, but how about interrupting people? Listening. There's a lot of things out there that are character defects. Yes, there are. Getting grumpy when a certain person talks to you. Character defect. Name calling. Is that on our character defect? Was name calling on your 6th, 7th step? Was it there? Was a character defect? Was that listed? Say lying, stealing. These are all character defects. Or if you want, bad habits. And that's how we figured out. Now, after a while, and it still happens to me, it's like, okay, because maybe one of them came back and I didn't realize, am I doing that? Yeah, I am. Okay, I'm going to correct that. I'm not seeing that. Well, now we have some bad news because that means something else is going on. You have to dig a little deeper. You're going to want the character defect, trust me. Then you're going to be grateful for your character defects and that you saw it. Shell says, wow, woke up to thinking about you, Spotted. You got it. Synchronicity in play. And I say it a lot. Why I've been lately, because we're on the 8th step. Things tend to mix together. All right. The fact is that none of us likes the self-searching, the leveling of our pride, and the confession of shortcomings which the steps require. All right. Okay. So we're taking a line right. This is Hazelden literature. We're taking a line right out of the big book. The fact is that none of us like the self-searching. Eventually, you will come to rely on self-searching. Yeah. In the beginning, it sucks because it's hard. It's hard to do, but eventually you will get better at it. And as you get better at it, you won't be upset that you have to do it. You'll take it for what it is, a gift from God that you get to see the world for that you get to see yourself for what you are now. Is that what you were going for? But we're gonna have to do some digging. I had to figure out how Dion ticked. So, not what ticked Dion off, but how Dion ticked. All right. And I had to become responsible. I had to become responsible for my emotions. I had to become responsible for my actions. But the one that set me free, the one that gave me the most freedom, I should say, was taking responsibility for my triggers and stop blaming other people for how I felt. It was a big one. I still work on it. Every day, I still work on it. So, all right. But we eventually see that the program really works. Have I picked up the simple kit of spiritual tools laid at my feet? Now you know where I got the title, right? Today I pray, may God keep me from laying out my defects by comparing them to someone else's. Bullshit. In this case, comparison is okay, as long as where you land is on your character defect. Otherwise, you spot it, you got it's off the table now. Right? So, now, I do hear what they're saying. You don't want to compare. Oh, well, theirs is bigger than mine, so therefore I don't have it. No, that now we're getting somewhere. If the comparison means judgment, then it's no good. If the comparison means growth for you while keeping your mouth shut, it's a good thing. That's been my experience. Might be different. Maybe it was different for this person, right? But it's gonna take them a while to find their character defects. Okay. Other than that, no comparing. No. The only comparison that I can really truly make is the Dion yesterday to today. Because I've caught everything else up. I don't have to compare myself to 2 years ago. I already did that. I just need to do it from yesterday. See, now I'm still in that 24-hour time period that I'm supposed to be living in, that 24-hour period. So, all right. We are not by nature relativists or comparers who think in terms of worse than, not quite as bad as, or better than. Okay, I thought it said we are not by nature. So by nature, we are that way. Yeah, I would agree. I would absolutely agree with that. Yeah. There are no greater signs or lesser signs in recovery. I don't care what program you're in. There is nobody is better than anyone in these programs. Well, I know it's that way in AA. Of course, not everybody thinks that way, and it's okay. They don't need to. It's not a requirement for my love or my sobriety. All right. Not quite as bad as or better than. Man, I know that my faults are faults, whether or not they are better than others. Yeah, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. What the other person is doing is really none of my business. It only becomes my business when I become directly involved by one of their actions. Now I'm involved with it. Well, sometimes God puts things in our lives because they're a little bit harder because they want us to stop it, because they want us to do something about it. So today I'll remember bad is bad, even when it is better than. Well, sometimes bad is bad, and it just needs to be bad. I'm stealing that directly from a song by Huey Lewis in the News, by the way. The song's called Bad is Bad, and it's a really cool song. I recommend you go listen to it. All right. So, a lot of things in that spiritual toolkit. A lot of things. And if you use them, you got a great shot at a happy, joyous, free, fruitful, peaceful life, man. You really do. I hope everybody finds it one day. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And